Hey, and welcome back to Convos with Luconda K. I am your host, Luconda King, and without further ado, let's go and get into this next conversation. No more looking back. No more looking back. And one of the things that I had been struggling with is I was entering into a new season, and there were things, situations, they weren't bad, but I had to let them go. And I couldn't understand, like, God, why am I having to let these things go? But I don't question him like that, but I do ask questions because I want to know. And it took a few days, and I just felt like I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted on trying to carry the newness and the oldness. And that exhaustion began to cause me to just sleep a little bit longer, to respond a little less, to not be as happy as I was, because there's no joy like the one that you have when you're in God's presence, right? So I'm praying and praying and praying. I'm reading my scriptures, and then it got to a point where, okay, I'm full. I'm reading the scriptures, and this is me speaking truthfully. I was full on it because I'm intaking this information, but where are the answers that I'm asking you for? Blessed. Let's go over here. Hey, Abraham, I'm gonna separate you from your people. You know what I'm saying? And don't bring nothing. And you take your nephew Lot anyway, right? So we talk about how Lot's wife looked back and turned into a pillar of salt, but nobody ever talks about the things that were going on in Sodom and Gomorrah. The reason why they had to be met with the fire and brimstone. They had to be met by that. It needed to be purified. It needed to be cleansed. And she looked back. But the story played so differently in my brain this time. The way he showed it to me is, this is our life. There was a calling. There's a purpose that I told you to move. There's a separation that needs to be made. There's a clear movement that is happening that I'm doing in you. And I already asked you not to bring anything. One thing about God, when he does this traveling and telling me to move somewhere and do this and do that, I don't be able to take anything. And I've read in other places in the Bible where people weren't able to take anything either. And the very first thing when you hear move, let's talk about a physical move, right? Let's move from one house to another. The first thing you think about is packing up your furniture, your clothes, your shoes. But a part of moving spiritually and moving in purpose and moving out of grace and operating out of your salvation, you can't take physical stuff with you. Ooh, the juice of this, right? So the representation of that old filthiness, that sin, those things that you were connected to, those people you were connected to, that place that had you in bondage and separate from me, you have to let it go. Because now you're graduating to a higher place. I need you to do more. That was your stumping ground for periodic, a small moment in time. There were things that I had to teach you going through, passing through, and you decided that you developed a taste for it and you wanted it to be a lifestyle, but it's opposite and separate from me, and I'm who brought you here. So once again, you can get stuck in the middle, but if I ask you to move and you move, and I tell you to leave and don't look back, leave and don't take nothing with you, let it be. When I tell you to look back, it's to remember how good I've been to you. That's God, right? How good have I been to you? Remember when you were here and I protected you. Remember you were there and I shielded you. I provided for you. But you know what we do? We get into the feeling aspect, the part that God don't have anything to do with. Ooh, why is that? Once again, it's this flesh, right? Telling you that, oh, this don't feel good. It is not this and it's not that. It may not be, but it also ain't God. So which is more important to you, your feelings or the truth? Your purpose or your feelings, your emotions? Because they change just like the hands on the clock go around. Minute by minute, second by second, something is moving. That is how your emotions are. But God is the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. So you can depend on that. So are you telling me that your emotions are so stable to where they never change? I'll prove it to you that you're a liar, because there's an angry emotion, there's a jealous emotion, there's a happy emotion. So even if it was a situation where you weren't going to be able to stay in that same emotion, it still is not of God. It's still not where you need to be. So when I give you the word that you need to move, move. I'll let you know what you need, or I'll provide it on the way. You don't have to look back and say, oh, I need to grab this, I need to take this. But taking your old stuff into a new situation can be detrimental to your growth. Do we think about it that way? Do we think about how pouring new wine in an old bottle works? Everything in the scriptures is for our good on this journey. And there are so many times that we get so caught up in our emotions. Oh, I love this person. Oh, there's nothing wrong with this. It may not be anything wrong with it now, but the way that they suppress certain things in you, the way that they're able to influence you to do certain things, when it becomes a them versus God, who do you think you're going to choose? Who's going to make you feel guilty? Because Jesus says if your conscience don't condemn you, neither will I. So do you really have a conscience that'll condemn you when it comes to the people that you love? Especially when you feel like there's some type of loyalty that you owe them. Do you think that? But see, if we were to take that same sentiment, that same thought process when it comes to God, I'm going to be loyal to you because you've always been loyal to me. I'm going to be who I am with you. I'm going to choose you. I'm going to put you in your proper position, which is above all, which is above the love that I think I have for my family, the love that I think I have for these different people and different situations that I have made my God unknowingly. Ooh, the order of importance. So when he tells us to move, we need to be moving and not think about those other things. Yesterday done passed away. We're in a new day. You accept Christ as your Lord and Savior, I'm going to be like Jesus. Who is my mother? Who is my brother? You know what I'm saying? So you get a whole new crew that comes in and is able to pour you in a different way. You all are able to utilize what it is that is great about you to pull out something or restore something in someone else. So this one particular situation I was in, and I learned so much about me as a person and as a woman specifically. But I learned it during this time of the injury, right? So with me learning during that time, there was this insecurity that I had developed that I didn't know was not really an insecurity. I just thought it was an insecurity because I never felt it prior to the injury. But I also never let myself get in situations like that. So now I feel exposed, I feel vulnerable, right? And there was this particular person that I'm so grateful for. Love him dearly. And he showed up and he was able to care for that aspect of me. But when God said move, he was one of those things that I had to leave behind. And you never did anything directly to me. I had to cry, but I didn't know what I was crying for because I just knew something in me felt hurt. Something in me felt deceived. I thought this was the promise. I thought that this was going to be, I can be Moses and he can be Aaron. You know what I'm saying? I can be he gives you that partner. And then it's never a no. It's in this moment, I need you to move on. Close that door. Because there's something that I'm doing in you. As soon as I was obedient at that time, to be honest with you, and I closed the door, But I walked into this other door and I could not understand why being connected to this particular person brought back all kinds of visions that I had ever since I was a little kid up until now. Things that I did not remember because of the injury. But it came back and it was like, it was so clear. And due to it becoming so clear, I was like, what is he representing? But I couldn't catch that unless I let go of the old thing, right? My hands was going to be too full trying to hold on to this and manage this. So in me embracing the newness, still crying about my old, but I was being obedient. I'm going to walk forward, Lord. I'm going to look at you. I'm following you. I'm going to be obedient above everything. Like sometimes you have to talk to yourself like that. You do. And I did that. And with me talking to God and trying to figure this thing out, I felt broken. I felt like, God, I know you don't lie, but I feel lied to in this moment. But that is why you can't lean on your feelings and your understanding. Because here it is, I'm going to restore the years the cankerworm stole. They done ate up, and the locusts done ate up all your crops, your good stuff during this injury. And here it is, you done prayed for these days and I'm healing you and I'm restoring you. I'm doing the things that I told you that I was going to do, but you can't see that because you in your feelings. You're looking at the you and I'm looking at the you. That's God looking at the you, right? So there's a part of restoration on this journey. Yes, you healed, but there's a restoration, there's a restoring. And there were things that got broken when I was a little girl and when I was in high school and things like that, that nobody knew I was struggling with. But here comes this person. And I get all these visions back. These creative ideas come back. And it's so interesting how in those moments of having that time, I was able to say, oh, this is why I had to let that go to embrace this new. You healed, cool. You let me know that it was some good stuff in me, cool. But this one is showing me the things that lay dormant. This is God fulfilling his word to me. So not only will I reconstruct and heal you and deliver you, I also restore, reuse, rebuild. Yes. And that is what I have to allow to happen. God is never going to do it this one way. You gave me your life, so I'm going to give you a life. No, you give me your life, I'm going to give you a great life, abundant life, shaken up, multiplied, packed down, running over, right? So allow your run over. This is your run over. So in those things happening, I was like, man, I was told to move. I get the move and I run into this and I feel like my old self on the inside. Yeah, but although you feel like the old self, you still have to remember what you learned during your healing process with that, what you learned with this person. And now you're embracing this new and it's uncomfortable because you got to let go of the mindset you had during the healing phase to receive what it is that you need in the restoration phase, the recovery phase. Now that means we in the physical therapy piece of this. That means it's going to hurt. Because you bending that knee that once hurt. You're tingling in places you ain't tingled in a long time in your head because you're being restored. There was death. There was no life. There was no flowing. There was no love there. But now you heal and now there's things that are moving and you want to reject it because it feels foreign because you've gone without it for so long. That's where we are. So this person is coming in like an electric current. Like, let me hook your jumper cables up to my battery and your battery. I'm gonna crank this car up and we're gonna get this thing going. But because it felt uncomfortable and you got so used to living without that peace, now something great is coming in and you want to reject it, but it's God. Ew, my goodness. Hey, I kind of want to shout. But that's what we have to understand. So this past Valentine's Day, I finally got the answer that I started this video off with, like, what is happening? And that's what he had to reveal to me. When I tell you to move and not take anything with you, It's because I am going to be your God and you're going to be my people. You are my daughter. I chose you. I purposed you. I'm going to provide. I'm going to protect. I'm going to be making you lay down in these green pastures. Meaning I'm going to make you live where it is fertile. It'll always be able to feed you. I will restore you. The 23rd Psalms, I'm telling you, I'm living it. And although it gets scary on this walk, guess what? He with me. He's going to protect me with that rod and that staff. My cup is going to run over. Surely goodness and mercy going to follow me. You know why it's going to follow me? Because Jesus is leading us. God is leading us. And I'm walking by faith and not by sight. So all your boos and woos and all the things that's in the background, y'all can't touch me. You can't touch me because I am protected. And if I am in God's hand and the word says that nothing can pluck me from there, then I know I'm beyond protected. That refuge, that strength. You understand? Oh, my goodness. We need to start receiving. And the closer you get to walking this journey and understanding who God is and understanding his presence, the easier it is to understand the Psalms of David and Solomon. The more likely you are to say, I'm so glad you put this in the scriptures because I didn't think about it then, but now I'm on here. That's exactly how I feel. That's exactly what I think about this. So my word today, as always, is to encourage you all to get in the word. And when God tells you to move, whether it's a mental move, physical move, whatever movement it is, get up and dance, whatever that is. Do it and don't take that old mindset with you. That's that furniture. Don't take them old feelings. That's that furniture. Let me tell y'all something. I told y'all previously I used to struggle with forgiveness. I realized in this restoration season that I'm going through with this new individual that's shaking up some stuff, but it's only good things that's bringing some things up in my life. That's uprooting, helping me anyway, because God is using them. That's their gift. So if that's their gift and they're able to do that, and I'm allowing God's word to work in my life, I'm allowing him to bring the people that I needed, things that I didn't even know. I was unaware. And that's something that we have to learn how to do on this journey, which is learn to tell God what it is that you think, what you feel, but allow him to do it his way. Don't get married to the details. Don't try to control it. Controlling it isn't faith. That's fear. That's you thinking you are the God versus God being God. That's you exalting yourself a little higher than you should. You can have a desire, but does your desire align with what God's word says? And that is what I want to encourage us to do today. Go move. And when you move, when God tells you to move, everything is already prepared for you. You just got to step into it. You're learning to manage. You're being restored, so you'll be challenged in a way that causes you to crank up some of those things that were laying dormant, or some of those things that you didn't know you had in you. Some interest that you had way back when you was a child, and now you get a chance to operate in those things that you only were interested in one period of your life. So do you want to be a person that is very productive to man and saying, oh, you did this, you was a great player, you was a excellent speaker, you were a person that wrote books, and you did all these different things, but you never got around to doing your kingdom work and fulfilling the purpose in which you were created? Do you want that to be said about you? I know I don't. I would rather do my kingdom work and fail all this other stuff with man. But because we are here and we are supposed to live kingdomly here, so the things that are in heaven and how it operates on heaven, we're supposed to be, those of us who have accepted Christ, we're supposed to be a reflection of what happens in heaven when we align with God and when we get it right here, so that it encourages other people and draws other people. That's how we become fishers of men. It's the lifestyle. So now that we're in a place where we're being restored, this healing, this deliverance, this acceptance, wherever you were coming from on this journey. You have new encounters. Embrace the encounters because they are necessary. Convos with Luconda K. Enjoy your day.